Hey everyone, it is Mike the Circle back with another video. How you guys doing? I know it's been a while since I've actually talked to you guys. I've mostly been doing slideshows, which I think are kind of a good idea with some of my builds recently, because I haven't really had time to just kind of talk to you guys, but now I kind of do. So I guess I want to talk about these two cars first. The first one I should specify was not built by me. This was the one that I got in a model trade with one of my friends on Instagram and Facebook. He built this thing up, and what I did to it is I hit it with a coat of Future Floor polish to get it all shinier. Put the decal on the side there, decal here, and decal here, and really that's all I did so far on this car. I really like it. It's just a really cool looking build. I love the MFP aesthetic to it. And apparently this was inspired by one of my builds, which is kind of cool. He sent me the headlights because it didn't have the headlights in it. I put those in. Yeah, he did a really good job on this. This is one of my new favorites. Like, this chills on my desk because I love it so much. It's just so freaking cool. This is the Heavy Chevy kit by Revell, which I'm going to be real with you guys. I know I'm more of a Mopar guy. Not that it really matters. But the Revell 70 Chevelle Heavy Chevy kit, this kit, is my favorite model kit of all time. That was the kit that I bought when I started getting back into model building, and I bought so many of them and built them in so many different ways, and it pains me that Revell hasn't brought this kit back yet in some way, because it's such a good kit. It's not perfect, I know it's not. It's 1/24th scale, so you can't really swap out parts with the AMT 1/25th scale Chevelle if you want to use the pad printed tires. You really can't. I know it's not perfect, but god damn is it a good kit. I really like it. Sorry about that. I had to cut the recording there because someone came down, and I'll just put the two videos together. It's no big deal. I didn't want to do that, but okay, we can roll with it. But yeah, like I was saying, I love that kit, and I may or may not have just won and opened one on eBay for really cheap. So, look for that in the near future. But before that, I have something else I want to show. But I will show off this turd next. Because, oh my god, this kit is horrible. So what this is an MPC 72 GTO. And you saw it in the slideshow. It's my little homage to the Pursuit Special, the Knight Rider car, which I do plan on getting the actual diecast that's in 1/24th scale of the Knight Rider car, which is a 72, I believe, Holden. I know all the Mad Max purists are going to be like, oh, it's not a GTO. It's Holden is like a combination of a bunch of GM products, and to me, that car seems like a mix of like a Chevelle and a GTO. I could be wrong. That's what the car looks like to me. I'm an American. I'm not Australian, but that's how that car kind of looks from an American muscle car guy perspective. That's how the Holden Monaro looks to me. So I used the 72 GTO. And I'm thinking, yeah, you know, it's an older MPC kit. What could go wrong, you know? How could this be a bad kit? Oh my god. I cannot express the pain that I had. So much cleanup on this body, so much sanding, so much cutting away flash. I'm not kidding when I tell you, I should have taken a picture, but I was a freaking idiot, and I just went through with it and fixing it. The passenger window was filled with flash. thick too. Like, I had to use my Dremel to get it out. Like, oh my god, man. Ugh. Like, what a horrible kit. I didn't even use the engine in the kit because it was so warped and had so much flash all over it. I was like, I can't use this. So, the engine in the kit is, still sitting in the box after I threw it out because I didn't use it. And what was that noise? Hang on a minute, I'm gonna have to go investigate that. Okay, don't know what the hell that noise was. I don't know if that picked up on camera, but it was like a sound. That was loud. No idea where the hell that came from. I'm a little bit freaked out now, but alright. I'll continue the video. So yeah, this kit was horrible. You know what I'm gonna be real, okay? Like, I'm gonna be 100% real with you guys. I know MPC and AMT can make a good model. I know that they can do it. So it pains me even more when they just re-release shit like this. I read the re-release issue date on this mold. This kit came out in 2009, for God's sake. Like, do you think they could have fixed this? I've been told that this mold has been, around for a very, very long time, and honestly, I'm not surprised. But over the years, do you think that they could have fixed it just a little bit? No? They just re-released the same shit? Come on, MPC. I know you guys can do a great kit. The City Slicker Dodge Charger is a phenomenal kit. So I know you guys can do good. I know you guys can do better. I wound up gluing the hood down. I forgot to mention that because it looked terrible under there. Even with the new engine, I wasn't a fan of it. I had to just glue the hood down because the fender gaps were horrible. Same with the Rogue Runner that I did a while back. I did lift up the rear end, which causes this weird effect of the pipes hanging down very, very low. But it is what it is. I doled out the wheels because they were that very, 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 very ugly chrome. Yeah, I tried to use as little amount of chrome on this kit as I could. Oddly enough, the bumpers, like these parts, which are chrome on the actual car, are not separate pieces. They're molded as part of the body, which is weird. I don't know why they did that. You may notice that there are no turn signals here. For some reason, my kit is missing them. It's not opened. The kit was not opened. All the glass is there. They're just not in there. No idea why. The rear bumper, you can see that huge gap there. That's because the rear bumper, no matter how much I shaved with my X-Acto knife, refused to go in there. It took one look at the car and said, nope, I ain't going on there. Yeah. So this was my best attempt at making something cool with a otherwise shit model. At least it looks decent. Somewhat. No? Okay. Another car I did was the 53 Hudson Hornet by Mobius, and I bought this at a local hobby shop. Well, I didn't buy it, I got it as a Christmas gift, but I had to pick it out. And they have so many of these in stock, and it's literally been sitting on the shelf for years. No one wants this kit, so they literally, this is like a $30 kit online. They dropped the price to $10. This thing is cheaper than a Snap Together kit because no one bought this model. They've had them in stock since the day they came out. And I went, yeah, I'll take it. Like, they literally lowered the price just to get rid of them. And this is actually a pretty good kit. It's actually, I gotta say, the lowest parts count of a Mobius kit I've ever seen. If you've built a Mobius kit, you know they stuff the box with a lot of parts. This kit, not so much. Very low parts count, which is good. It's still a great kit, but I mean it's low in terms of Mobius. It's around the same as a Revell kit. If you've ever built a Revell kit before, you know. I mean a regular Revell glued together kit. You know, you know a standard model kit. I'll shut up. But yeah, the idea behind this car was that it's a fabulous Hudson Hornet replica that they bought for really cheap sometime in the 70s and had it painted up to look like that. And they just take it to a local dirt track and have fun with it, despite how old the car is. It's still fun to drive and just beat on. So it's not a rotting car. They still take good care of it. It's got some rust on the chrome here and there, but it's not falling apart. They take care of this thing. It's still pretty mechanically sound under the hood. And I say that this is done. It's quote-unquote done. I'm going to go back and do a little bit more dirt with some Citadel paints that I forget what it's called. Let me go get it. This stuff here, this Sterling mud, I'm going to go through and I'm going to get all the areas that I'm not too happy with, just to give it a more of a texture, because this has like sand in the paint and stuff like that, and it gives it a lot of a chunkier look to it, which is what I want. And yeah, I really like the Hudson Hornet. I learned a lot about them while building this thing. I watched a lot of videos, watched Jay Leno talk about them. He talked about his really messed up story about how he had a Hudson Hornet when he was younger and it got stolen. There's the underside of the car. Pretty messed up story, actually. It got stolen, and every single day he would go to the police station to see if his car turned up. And he'd go there, it's not there. He'd go there again, not there. One day he goes there, it's not there. He can't see it. But an officer comes up to him and goes, "We found your car about a week ago. An officer put it in the back because he wants it. And they're going to sell it at an auction. So just stumble across it. Say that you stumbled across it in the yard." How messed up is that? Like, hey, we found your car, but I want it, so... that is so messed up, dude. Leave a comment down below if you actually sit and listen to everything that I say. I doubt anyone does. I just go on in these videos, I swear. So that's pretty much it for this car. And I have a work in progress I can show. Not exactly done, because I'm still waiting on parts for it, but I will show an upcoming build, and I think you guys are going to be pretty excited for this. Here she is, the muscle car from Half-Life 2. Yes, I'm doing another one. You guys might remember a couple years ago I did one, and if I'm being honest, I rushed that thing, and it shows. It looks awful. I parted that one out for the seats, the front end, or mostly the grill. I ripped everything off of that. And here it is. Here's the front end of the car, because I did cut out the headlights on that and put in good looking headlights. But that's pretty much all that I used from that. And the dashboard, which I've been working on and modifying. Kept that plastic because I'm going to snip it off, and when I attach it to the cage, that's coming eventually. Probably Tuesday, I think. And, yeah, I've just been trying to take my time with this one, because the last one I did was really, really shitty, and I really didn't like that one. And, now, this isn't the same as the other Charger. The muscle car is not the same as this Charger here. This is a canon vehicle from my story, my World of Dragons. This is just a reference to the muscle car. It's not the same car, so I am keeping this one, because I do love this one still. So, yeah, it has some differences and some similarities, but they are not the same car. You get it. But yeah, if you've been following me on Instagram, you know that this is a car that I've been really having fun with and really trying to make as best as I can, because I thought about this thing the other night and I was like, I don't want to rush this thing like I did that other one. I want to make this thing as beautiful as it can be in its own messed up way. So I've really just been taking my time with it and just, not rushing like I did that really crappy one. I did do the automatic shifter as best as I could. Got the pedals in there. You can see the rear, which was actually taken from a Revell 70 Charger, which had a little bit of fitting issues actually to get into this is a 68 Charger that I used for it, mostly because it didn't have marker lights, and the car in game does not have marker lights. The 70 Dodge Charger is the one I would have used because it does have marker lights molded in, which I prefer. But the 68 does not. I'll show the underside of the car. Again, just taking my time, really making this thing as cool as it can be. Why does it have a full exhaust system? Well, I'll tell you why. The car in game has a full exhaust system. I don't know why, but it does, and it's one of those little quirks that just makes me love this car even more. You can see just how beefed up the rear is, those huge springs, and shocks, and big leaf springs. Huge Super Swamper boggers. I've looked at the car in game a couple of times for references, started new playthroughs just to get reference screenshots. And the rear tires, these are not accurate to the game. The wheels look kind of similar, but in terms of the actual tire, this is more accurate. These are taken off of a Land Rover model. These are not, because in the game, it looks like it has very thick tires in the rear, very wide tires, but they look like street tires. I mean, they have like that kind of muscle car rim to them, like a lot of muscle cars did, but they don't look like off-roady tires, but the front tires do, which is a little bit weird. And I was going to go with that, but I was like, I have these pair of Super Swamper boggers. I finally found rims that fit into them. I finally found backs that fit into them. I got to use them. I got to make this thing look more realistic. And that's been the theme that's been going with this car, making it look as game accurate and realistic as it possibly can be. And one of the ways I did that was use the firewall, which the car in game does not have. It's literally just the dashboard, which is very safe. The shocks are mounted to the dashboard, and the radiator not really attached to anything. At least them being attached to the firewall is something. Probably not as sturdy, but I based that off of NASCARs at the time. If you looked up pictures of NASCARs from like the Superbird or the Daytona Charger, they would cut out the inner fenders, and when you cut out the inner fender of a Mopar, there's nothing holding the front end together. So you had to build these braces, and that's what they did for NASCARs. How did I learn that? From the man Mike Finnegan. Mike Finnegan bought a 68 Charger that was built for NASCAR, but never made it to the track. And the guy cut out the inner fenders, and he didn't put any kind of bracing there. So when they were jacking the car up, they were bending the front end in half because there was nothing there. So, yeah, if you have a 68 or 70 Charger, don't do that unless you roll cage the car. So that is what I based that off of. Long story short, the engine is a reused from my parts bucket 440, even though I had the kit. I had the new engine from the kit. I didn't want to use it because I want to use that for something else. I didn't want to use the Hemi that came with it because I have another plan for that engine, so I just went with my parts bucket. I took heads from, I believe that was a Chevy engine, and the air cleaner is taken off of a Ford Bronco to mimic that kind of tiny air cleaner that bounces around when you're driving this thing in game. Or when you start up the car. You just see that thing moving around. Just another one of those little quirks that I love about this car. It's one of those things that when I go back to Half-Life 2 and I get to episode 2 and you see the muscle car, it's like, wow. Like, because at that point, like, you hear that you're getting another vehicle and it's like, oh shit. You really don't know what to expect, and then you just see that and it's like, oh my god. Because like, before then, you've gotten vehicles before. You had the airboat, which was literally made of air. If you played the game, you know what I mean. And you've had the scout car in the base game. Episode 1 didn't have any vehicles. So, episode 2, like, you're thinking you're going to get something that looks like the scout car, and then you just get the muscle car, and it's like, holy shit. Like, it's such an advanced model, I think, for the game, too. Like, it's so detailed compared to the scout car. It's just an improvement all around. So, yeah. I'll stop sucking the game's dick. I'm sorry. I love the muscle car in Half-Life 2. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, there's the seats, which don't like to stand up on their own. I am waiting to put them in until I get the cage built. So yeah, long video, but I just wanted to talk to you guys and see how you guys are doing. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.